Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines 2, where we are currently going to be working on our subway system here. And this is our current subway system. We have 2 vertical and 1 horizontal line, and I'm kind of thinking that we want to do, at least for now, every other. So what I mean by that is every other highway, right? So we've got this one here, and if we wanted to make another horizontal line, which I think we should, it would be this one here. So that'll give us a lot better coverage than if we were, for example, going to do this one. Alternatively, we could do like this one and then do the center one, but I don't think that really matters, all things considered. I think that we should pop over, let's see, I just want to verify. Yeah, this one right up here. Okay, so we want to get this going, and underground subway station, please. Thank you very much. And of course, we're going to need to move this guy over a bit because if that exceeds city limits. That's fine. We can put it there. And then we'll just put this guy here, and we'll just go through and get all of these subways placed. So one here, and that was not quite where I wanted it to go. There's an overlapping item here. What is here? Is that a park? That is a park. This park is going to have to move. We'll put it, hang on, that didn't go. We'll put it here. Cool. And then we can put in our subway station about here. And this area can actually get zoned because there's some area here that is unzoned. So we can do that. Fantastic. Next up, of course, we need additional underground subway stations. And these are expensive. There's no doubt about that. We may not have the money to do these super often, but I want to get at least some of them online, right? And honestly, it's kind of distracting to me that the blur is updating at a significantly different frame rate than the rest of the game. That is a little distracting, but we'll try to ignore it. Okay, so we're going to head down over this direction. Yep, right here looks correct, and then right here. So you can see that was pretty expensive. We just spent about $1 million, what do we call it? $1 million money, whatever the money in this game is on that. Okay, cool. So this is connected. Is this actually connected here? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're just going to need to go through and make sure this is actually not connecting. Does this need to be lower? Does it need to be higher? It's hard to say. It's one of those, for sure. That's connected. Okay, and then this connects up over here. Looks good. Then that's connected, and this is connected. Okay, seems fine. Next up, of course, that is not connecting. So we might need to drop this down, or maybe up. I think up. Yeah, that's connected. Cool, that can come in over here. And then this guy comes in over here, right? But we, of course, have the problem here. So I believe we need to go... Which one do we want to go underneath here? We could do something kind of like this. And then try to bring this up. That comes back as slope too steep. So I think we're going to have to knock this back a little bit further, which actually removes the whole thing. And we're going to need to try to bring this guy in at this height here. We do get under, is this under or over? I'm not sure which this is, but it's one of them. And then that slope too steep. Okay. So the problem here is the height of this compared to the height of this, right? Yes, indeed. That is the problem. So what we need to do is this one has to go over. So we're going to bring it from here instead and just look to bring that in somewhere out over this direction. Now that's coming back as slope too steep. Okay. So this one needs to go over top, right? It's trying, I think, to pass through, which isn't exactly what I want it to do. So I want it to go over top or underneath, one or the other. It doesn't matter which, to be honest. That is merging in and curved too tight. So obviously we don't necessarily want that. Let's have this snap only to angle for the time being. This is going to be complicated. I think we're going to need to remove this, which is probably going to break this route, which probably means that we need to redo that route. That's a little irritating, but we can maybe find another path. So what would that path look like? Well, hang on. That was intriguing. I think I saw one that it would allow us to do here. But that's coming back slope too steep at like a 21% grade. So we're going to have to back this off. Okay, I think I know how we have to do this. So we need to back this off and have this come in to about here. Then we can try to bring it in up over this way. That's making a crossing there. That's not what I want it to do. I want it to go up and over. So we're going to need to have it be somewhere around... This is not exactly where I want it to be, though. That comes back as slope too steep. I actually think we have to build this the other direction, which means taking this guy underneath, right? And extending out... This is really awkward height level right here. Really, really awkward. It has a very steep drop-off right there, which ends up meaning snapping into this is actually quite difficult. We're going to have to turn down the elevation step and find a snap point here, which is about here, I think. No? Where is this snap point? Intriguing. I don't know where this snap point actually is. Fascinating. So what I want to do is I want to build something that goes over top of this, right? So minus 12.5 meters. That's coming back as overlapping items up here. So that is still actually above ground, apparently. And then that's overlapping here. Maybe this isn't going to work. Okay, well, that is very awkward indeed. No doubt about that. So there is always the option of having these intersect, right?
Thank you for listening to...
where is this height now? Here? Okay, now I don't know where this height is. Building underground in this game, I'm going to be honest, is mildly frustrating. No doubt about that. So, what height is this at? We're not snapping in at any of these heights. Okay, let's get rid of that, and let's bring this out again. I have no idea what the snapping height of that was. So that is very exciting indeed. So, as far as this goes, what do we want to do about that? Well, we could definitely bring this in like this and then have it connect here. That is an option, and I mean, there's probably not going to be that big of a traffic issue there, now that I think about it. So then we can bring this guy over this direction. That's curved too tight overlapping items, but we can bring it in like that. And then this guy comes in, really, that's overlapping this building? Wild. What if we brought it in this way? That works. And then just flip the direction. Sure. Why not? And then we can do something out over here. Looks good. And then finally, something out over here. Okay. So there we go. We've got a bit of a crossroads here, but it's probably okay. I don't think we're going to run into major issues with that. But that was definitely a thing. No doubt about that. Okay, let's bring this guy in over here. Both of these are connecting. So that looks good. And then continue to bring this over. That's both connecting on both sides. That's connecting, and now it's connecting. There we go. Now, we're going to have this water issue here, right? And that is absolutely understood. This subway... Ooh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. This is also coming back road required because this has a bit of a bridge here. So we're going to need to remove these sections of road and then rebuild this. Hopefully, it'll rebuild without the bridge there. Yes, it did. Now what I want to do is I want to attempt to relocate this guy over to here, moving it slightly over. But the problem here, of course, is this. So what we need to do is we need to do a slope terrain tool, and we need to bring this down a bit. So it's going to need to slope down something like this, and then we're going to need a level terrain tool at about this height, and we bring that over so that we have somewhere that we can send our line through. And hopefully we can get that steep enough. So let's see how that ends up going. This is potentially going to be awkward here. Slope too steep, track required. There's a track right here. So, yeah. Should be fine. Just connecting it here, of course, returns in water, track required. So what we need to do down this direction is we need to figure out just how steep we can do this. -20 returns in water, track required. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. No doubt about that. I think what we're going to actually have to do is we're going to have to make this slope considerably less steep. Something like this. Okay. Why is this coming back track required? What if we connected it this way? So that's actually not connecting there. That's not connecting either. What height is this? That height. Okay. So then we can connect that up over here. Track required. Why are you saying this? I'm literally building a track. That is very odd. No doubt about that. All of these is telling us track required. So I guess I'm going to bulldoze this and rebuild it. And see if that does the trick. I don't know if it will or not. Yeah, that does the trick. Okay, so we'll bring this over and connect it up over here. That's slope too steep. So we're going to need to knock this back a little bit and start elevating it a little further back. Presumably to somewhere like... where's this merge point at? I know there's an overlapping item here. I want to extend this. Actually, we're not attaching over here is the problem. Yeah, building underground in this game is really finicky. There's no doubt about that. So our best bet is actually to restart this, it seems. Find this correct height. Or one of these correct heights. Okay, this is incredibly finicky. So, where is this? Needs to be a little lower. Little lower. But I mean, I'm not sure it does, though. That's minus 50 meters. Yeah, we're just not snapping to these points. Okay, what if we take this to minus 20 and we just bring it out over here? Yeah, we're not snapping to it. I have no idea what height this is supposed to be at. Okay. I think we're going to have to do something like this. This is kind of insane. I'm going to be honest. This is kind of insane. So bring this up to about negative 15 meters. We can just trial and error this. We're starting to clip into it at this height. So it should be around 20 meters. We're just not snapping to it. Yeah, very strange. So if we were to build it this direction, can we snap here? That's not actually connecting. Oh, wait, we're building a road right now. I'm dumb. How long have I been doing that for? Okay, we're going to bring this in over here, looking for this snap point, about like that. There we go. I think I've been doing that for a while, and I think I'm very dumb. So this is giving us in-water overlapping items. So we need to take this until it is no longer slope too steep here. Okay. The main problem here is it's trying to jump up when we get here. So we need to not be on road. We need to come down this direction. And once we get here, we need to bring this down until it is no longer showing in water. We're at the maximum depth right now. Okay. Well, we can create a bit of a dam here, and what that ends up meaning is, for now, I'm just going to grab the level terrain tool, and we're just going to do this number. And we're just going to build it across like that, and then we'll see what this ends up looking like. So that would then connect in like that. Sure. Then what we can do is we can grab the level terrain tool again, and just carve as much of that out as we can. So something about like that. Now that is going to function as a dam, but the water will overflow that. So that'll be fine, and we'll get ourselves a bit of a waterfall there. Okay, well that was definitely way harder than it needed to be. A lot of that was my own fault, to be clear, but I do stand by the statement that building underground in this game can be a bit frustrating. Okay, we can connect this in over here. We do see that that's a crossroads, but honestly, I'm not too concerned about that. So we're going to be bringing this guy up over here about like that. That's fine. Bringing this in here. Yep. And connecting here. That's actually curved too tight, so we need to redo that. Not road. Hang on. Okay. So something about like that. And something about like that. Cool. That'll do for now. We'll get this connected up. We don't need to be in Curve Tool. Okay. We are not interfering with our power line here, so that looks good. I do believe that that is this completed at significant cost, no doubt about that. But I do believe that is going to be a very, very useful subway for us. I expect this to be fairly thoroughly utilized. So we're going to start to create a subway line, and we will have it start here. I'm going to use the north side here, not the south side. So north side. And we'll just hop on over to here, continuing to utilize the north side, and putting in a stop at each of these subway stations. Excellent. And the next question, of course, is, with all of these subway lines, do we end up having a deficit of subway trains? Well, we'll see. We only have the one station right now. Where is our next station here? Here it is. Okay. We only have the one, like, depot right now. And that can only produce, I believe, 15 trains. So there is that. If we run into any train problems at these intersections, we can absolutely think about doing something about it. But the intersections are going to be placed pretty close to the actual stations, so there's not all that much that we can really do. But we'll just make our way over to here. Okay, we now need to double back and head this direction on the south line, which is somewhere around here. There it is. It'll be easier to spot from this angle, I guess. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Once again, this is just a little finicky. I feel like this could use a little love from the devs, to be honest. This underground metro system, yeah, it could definitely use something. Okay, so we'll just grab here and continue to make our way all the way through this. Now, I'm hoping that this subway system ends up reducing our traffic a significant amount. This will move a fair number of people in residential areas, over to our commercial and industrial areas, right? That's the concept here. This is not going to reduce freight trains. Well, not trains. This is not going to reduce things like freight trucks. We don't have an outside rail connection, which is sad. I wish that we did, but as far as I'm aware, we don't have an outside rail connection, and I don't think we can create one. I'm pretty sure we can't. We can double check that, but it would definitely be good to have freight there. Yeah, this would actually complete the route. Yeah, do that. Okay, so there we go. We've now got an additional subway line. And let's check in here. 12 out of 15 vehicles in use right now. Noted. 13 out of 15. I expect this to be 14 or 15 out of 15 very, very soon. So, are we going to need an additional subway yard? Quite possibly. These maintenance halls aren't really going to be that big of a deal. The real thing that we need is extra tracks. No doubt about that. So we could certainly consider moving our fuel plant and building another subway yard if we need it. I mean, we're going to need it eventually. But I don't think we, strictly speaking, need it right now. So yeah, 15 out of 15 vehicles are currently in use. I want to take a quick look here at our mass transit lines. So let's see here. Subway tracks. Yes, that's all fine. I want to look specifically at how our lines are doing, though. And specifically this new one. So I want to... Where is that? Up here? There are no vehicles available. Okay, that's what I thought might be happening. So if we look at the actual subway line, assigned vehicles, 6. And there are currently 3. So that's definitely noted. We do require additional subway yards here. So, the fuel plant should get moved. And we'll put that, like, out over here. It's going to blow off this way, but that's fine. So then we're going to need a new subway yard. So that'll go on this side over here. And we'll put that in, like, exactly across from the other one. There we go. And then we can always upgrade this guy, of course, with additional tracks. Just like that. And then as far as these connections go, I still am not entirely clear what needs to be connected. So there is that. I think that we need at least some amount of connection here. Indeed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up over this direction. So in curve mode, up over here. And actually, let's multi-curve this. And I would like this to come in, like, here. Okay, that's giving overlapping items, but we just need to bring it in kind of like that. Okay. So that's all well and good. This out over here needs to have a connection, and does this have to be an input or an output? It can actually be both. But that's noted. So we know that these trains do come from some areas, right? I'm going to use a double track up this way, and we're going to take that underground using the multi-curve tool. Yeah, somewhere around here. Like that. So this has a connection now. And we can definitely... Is this not connected? It's not connected over here. Okay. I was also thinking about upgrading this to be bidirectional, but that doesn't actually help, I don't think. We need this to come out over this way, like that. Okay. Are you able to send out trains now? That is the question. I see smoke over here. Vehicles in maintenance 1. Okay. Well, let's add in a bidirectional track here. Let's add in a bidirectional track here. I suspect that this needs to be connected. And then that will go underground over this way. And we'll connect it in somewhere down over this way. That's giving us curve too tight right now, which does make some amount of sense. So let's just bring it in something more like this. Overlapping items. Okay, sure. I want to upgrade this to be a bidirectional track. And then I want to move this guy in and connect it like that. This is now not connected here. Yeah, one of these lines isn't connected. And that makes sense. So this doesn't need to be bidirectional. It can be this. Okay. So are we going to see any vehicles actually exiting this subway yard? If not, the question is why? What do we actually need this to be? Well, there's no car access out over here. So extending this road does make some sense. We can definitely do that. And that'll be just like that. Okay, so we extended this road and we now have car access. Oh, and now we're seeing trains. Fantastic. So 2 out of 15 vehicles are en route. Looks good. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we probably don't have enough to get another line going. We'll just let this happen and see how this is going. We are making money still, so hopefully that'll reduce some of this traffic. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.